All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mike. And today, for episode 50, we're going to be breaking down UFC Las Vegas this week. I apologize to anybody who was on the other stream. I don't know what happened. StreamYard wasn't registering my microphone or my webcam, and I couldn't fix it. So I had to delete that stream, start a new one. Probably going to take people a little bit of time to find us again, but that's all right. Thank you to anybody watching live. Thank you to anybody watching later on. And we're going to hop right into it. We've got UFC Las Vegas. It's a 13-fight card now, I believe. And the headliner is really dope. If you guys have seen my stuff, if you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm a huge Petr Yan fan. So for him to be fighting, that's a big deal for me, and I'm very excited. I just hope he doesn't choke once again. And yeah, you guys will notice usually I have a guest. Today I don't. It's just me. Just how it played out. But I'm honestly pretty glad for episode 50. I feel like it's pretty cool to be going alone because that's how I started the show. I started it alone, no guests for a pretty long time. So episode 50 episodes in, back with just me. I like it. So let's hop right into the card. Thank you to everybody coming back in now. Again, I'm sorry about that whole thing. I don't know what happened. It was something with the webcam and the microphone. Let's go Bruno Silva time. Hell yeah. Honestly, one of my favorite flyweights for some reason. But what's up, Six Hound? Thank you for tuning in, brother. I appreciate you. And yeah, let's hop right into the card. I'm pretty hype. Got a few White Claws lined up. So cheers right there. And let's get right into it. It's been a long day. I'm hyped to talk some fights. Can't complain when the pleasure man's on the card. Hell yeah. What's up, CT? Thank you for tuning in. Big Steve, boo yourself. Make sure you guys check out Big Steve. He's a sharp guy. He's a sharp guy. But all right, let's hop right into the card. So for this first fight, we've got the flyweight Derek Lewis versus Bruno Silva. Tyson Nam, he's 21, 12-1, 39 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach, and I've got him at Sports Lab. On the other side, you've got Bruno Silva. He's 12, 5-2. He's going to be 7 years younger at 32. He's 5'4", so he's going to be 3 inches taller and giving up 2 inches in reach, training at a Fight Ready himself. So StreamYards is showing me right now that my connection is kind of crappy. So if I'm lagging or whatever, guys, just let me know in the chat. I don't know what to do about it anymore. I pay for like extremely expensive internet and it still has problems. So we do what we could, but for this fight, I like Bruno Silva, and I do have some hesitations, but if you've watched me, you know I hate low output, just power counter strikers. Like, I don't like it. I don't like betting on Derek Lewis's. I don't like betting on Trevin Jones's, and I definitely don't like betting on Tyson Nam. I don't think I ever even have. So in terms of the matchup, Steve, Dogger pass. Honestly, I get it. I do get it if you wanted to take the dog here because, first of all, takedown defense, all right, on UFC stats, it's 100%. Throw that in the garbage. That was one fight, and I'll tell you who it was who shot on him. It was Kai Kara France. Shot on him 4 times, didn't get a single takedown. So I wouldn't look at that 100% number and be like, wow. But he did fight on the Russian regional scene. He fought guys like Zhalga Zhumagulov. And he did have good takedown defense there. So you do have to give it to him. He's going to have good takedown defense. He'll be able to keep it on the feet. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it all the time. You look at Bruno Silva, he's got really solid wrestling. He out-grappled Dvorak, who's a really good grappler. He held his own against Tagir, and I thought he looked pretty good. Took down Tagir like 4 times, I think. And his striking, I like his striking. I think he's got good combinations, good entries. He's a good counter striker himself, good power for such a teensy little guy. But I do think on the feet, he's going to have to be careful, going to have to mind his P's and Q's because Tyson Nam does have hands. I don't love the volume and the output, but in terms of the technique itself, I do like it. Everything's mostly straight, and he's pretty fast, big power. He's just limited and he's not doing much. And like I said before, I don't bet on guys who just sit there looking for the counter. I think Silva's going to be the one winning minutes. I think Silva's got more ways to win because he can mix in that grappling. Can he win this fight purely on the feet? I mean, maybe. Maybe because Tyson Nam's not going to be throwing a lot. But I would as someone backing him, I would strongly prefer that he grappled. So I did bet Silva. I bet him at -170 for 2 units. And I think that as long as he doesn't get himself knocked out on the feet by Tyson Nam with some of his counters, I think he's going to be fine. I think he should be able to win this fight. And I honestly rate Bruno Silva pretty highly, out of a really good camp too, fight ready. So he's going to be good for this fight. And we can move on to the next one. Not really much else to say there. This is a fight that I really wanted to bet, but I'm not going to. We've got Tony Gravely versus Victor Henry. Gravely is 23, 8-0. He's 31 years old, 5'5" with a 69-inch reach, training out of American Top Team. Henry on the other side, he's going to be 22, 6-0, 35, so he's 4 years older, 2 inches taller with 1 inch reach disadvantage. And like many, I thought Henry was going to fly through Assuncao in their fight, and he didn't. He didn't fly through him at all. I thought he won the first round, honestly, Henry. But after that, he definitely lost the second two, and it was not a good look because I don't think Assuncao is like really back or anything like that. I think Assuncao is still on his way out. I just think it was a bad look for Henry. Now, whether it was Henry because he had like an off day, could be. I honestly don't know. But to me, it kind of turned me off. Now, Gravely, I like Gravely. I think he's a really good fighter. I did go against him with Javid Basharat just because I think Basharat's a stud. But Gravely's got a lot of good things. First of all, the wrestling. I mean, that's his thing, right? He's got really good wrestling. He D1, 2-time NCAA qualifier, uses it all the time. Now, for a wrestler, he has been submitted 5 times, but I always put this in my notes because I think it's important. He's not really getting submitted by any bums. You got Sabatini in 2015, Ricky Bendejas in 2016, who, all right, Manny Bermudez 2017, not the best person, but Patchy Mix in 2018. That's like Patchy Mix is really good. And Brett Johns, also a really good grappler. So I don't think Henry's going to submit him. He does have 8 submission wins on his record, but not over anyone really that great. I don't remember if he submitted or just beat Kyler Phillips. I do know that they fought and Victor won, I believe. So I actually want to see. Pull it up. Victor Henry. Nah, so he won that by decision. The last time he submitted somebody was Albert Morales in 2021. So yeah, I don't think he's going to submit Gravely, but is Gravely going to find a lot of success wrestling here? I think he's going to get the takedowns. Is he going to hold him down? That's another story, another question. I'm not sure. Henry has shown a good ability to get back up. Defended, I think, like 6 takedowns against Barcelos. I think he is going to keep it on the feet enough to win the fight. I kind of lean Henry because I like his striking overall better. I think Gravely kind of wings a bit too much, even though his boxing has been improving a lot. And Gravely kind of just, he likes that. He has crazy power, right? And he knows that. So he kind of tends to rely on it. I don't know. Like I said, when I started this fight, this is one of the few fights on this card that I am having a very difficult time getting a read on. I've been going back and forth, considering Gravely as the dog. My issue with that is I think he's going to win round 1. But after that, I think he might start not finding as much success. And if he's on the feet, I really do favor Victor Henry. I mean, the output, if he fights like he did against Barcelos, the output is incredible. Mixes targets really well. His combinations are really good. There's a lot to like about the striking of Victor Henry. And he does have 8 submission wins. He does have a ground game. I just don't really think he's going to use it here. So if I'm going to give a lean, all right, I'm going to stick with my lean on Gravely. That's what I have in my notes. I'm going to stick with it because I guess the takedowns from Assuncao were kind of concerning too, right? Especially the one where it was like a single leg. Like that's going to be easy money for Gravely. Like he can definitely hit that. And on the feet, I don't think he's going to be completely like a fish out of water. So I do lean Gravely, especially as the underdog. But am I going to bet it? I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to stay off and probably just watch this one and enjoy it because I think it's a really close fight. I think the line is relatively accurate. And I don't feel like I have any edge betting this fight, so I'm not going to. And we're going to move on to our next fight. All right. We got JJ Aldrich versus Ariane Lipski. Aldrich is 11-5-0, 30 years old, 5'5" with the 67.5-inch reach, and she's training out of Team Elevation. Lipski, 14-8-0. She's 29 years old, 5'6". She's going to be 1 inch taller, same reach pretty much. And for her camp, let me double check. I don't have anything. We're going with King's MMA. And I mean, what is there really to say here? JJ Aldrich is like a minus 350 favorite, something like that. And I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, she even looked pretty good against Erin Blanchfield. She took her down. I completely forgot about that. Looked pretty good on the feet against her. I think she's a good fighter. Is the line pretty crazy for a women's bout? Yeah, it is. But I don't really see what Lipski's going to do here. I like Lipski's output. I don't think her striking is terrible, but her grappling sucks. Her takedown defense sucks. So, oh, wow. I just got a ton of chat messages all at once. I think I'm lagging, guys, so I apologize. I got to figure out this internet mess. Tajik, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. He made crazy bread this past weekend. CT, why has Silva been out so long? I have no idea. Is Silva, Pettis, Kai, and Schnell level of striking? Not Kai, and not Schnell, and not Pettis, no, I guess. But he's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I feel wrong saying he's as good as any of those guys in terms of striking, but I'd say he's close. Kali Taha says no. Hey, he's been improving a lot in the striking, though, Steve. Come on. Still not recovered from that Henry Assuncao fight. Yeah, that was rough. But yeah, back to this fight. Like, Lipski got out-grappled by freaking Antonina Shevchenko, who doesn't out-grapple anybody. So there's really not much to say. I think she's going to get taken down, and I think she's actually going to probably get finished here. So I think Aldrich is a decent parlay piece. I don't really tend to parlay heavy favorite female fighters unless I think they really have an edge, like Shevchenko, my dumbass. But here, I think it's fine. I personally am probably going to do it. I'm probably going to parlay Aldrich. With who or with what, I don't know. The one thing I'm looking at right now is the over 1.5 on the Nam Silva fight. It's minus 180 last I looked, and I like that. I think it's going to go over that. I think we're probably going to go to a decision. I don't really think Silva's going to submit Nam, and I don't think Nam is going to knock out Silva. So I do think we're going to go to decision, and over 1.5, parlay that with JJ Aldrich. I think it comes out to like just about even money, something like that. I like that. I like that spot, and I'm probably going to get there. Just Aldrich has the grappling. Aldrich has got the striking. Aldrich has got the camp. She's going to win this fight, in my opinion, more often than she won't. And we're going to, like, how does Lipski even win? Like, even if Aldrich pulls up and fights with a terrible fight IQ, she could probably win this even then. So I'm having a hard time seeing a Lipski win. So yeah, I like Aldrich, but we'll move on to another heavy favorite. And I guess it makes sense, but I mean, can you bet it? No. We got Mario Bautista versus Guido Cannetti. Bautista 11-2-0, 29 years old, 5'9" with 69-inch reach, training out of MMA Lab. Cannetti on the other side, he's 10-6-0. He's going to be 43 years old, so he's 14 years older, 3 inches shorter, 1 inch reach disadvantage. And he's fighting out of, let me double check, Steve. You just cracked me up. Yeah, I don't have anything. We're going with Our Town MMA for Cannetti. I mean, what is there really to say here? Bautista's going to be better everywhere. He's younger. He's at a better camp, an amazing camp for the weight class. I mean, he's training with guys like Sean O'Malley, Kyler Phillips, Casey Kenny. So yeah, you have to think Bautista wins. I think a submission is pretty live. You look at Cannetti, he's been submitted 4 times, and Bautista's got a slick sub game. But yeah, I mean, what is there really to say? Like, can he get knocked out by Cannetti? Maybe. That's probably how Cannetti wins this fight, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Trevin Jones did it, so it's not like impossible. I just don't think it's going to happen here. Now, in terms of something that you can actually bet, I kind of like the over 1.5. I know that a lot of people are on the other side. And look, it's a bantamweight bout. Guido Cannetti isn't always a fast starter. And his last 2 finishes are literally Randy Costa, who we know has his problems, and Chris Moutinho, right? Mario Bautista is not one of those people. I don't think Cannetti's getting a fast finish here. In terms of Bautista finishing, has he been finishing good guys? Yeah. But Benito Lopez and Brian Kelleher, they're not like elite. They're just not. And you look back at his Jay Perrin fight. Perrin came in on short notice. He didn't finish him. In fact, it was like, I'm not going to sit here and say it was close, but Perrin put up a fight. And I think that Cannetti can also put up a fight. So I like that over 1.5. We're asking 2 bantamweights to go over 7.5 minutes. I got it plus 100. I thought that I was getting a good line, and then money came back in the other way. Now you can get plus 125. I like it. And yeah, not really much else to say. Please don't parlay Mario Bautista at minus 900. Like I said, Trevin Jones knocked him out. If there's something Guido Cannetti can do, it's that. So I would be very careful. Real quick catch up with the chat. If you want legit picks, just ask the wise little. I'm not sure what that means. Cannetti on his Glover type redemption arc. That would be pretty crazy in bantamweight. Guido win via really old man strength. I mean, the dude is strong. We know that. Exclusively a fast starter. Am I tripping, Steve? I don't know. I felt that he's not always a fast starter, but I make my mistakes. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next fight. Here we've got Sedriques Dumas versus Josh Fremd. Dumas is 7-0 undefeated. He's 27 years old, 6'2" with a 79-inch reach. And in terms of the camp, we're going to be going with Port City Combat Sports. Josh Fremd on the other side, he's 9-4-0, 29 years old. He's 2 years older. It's going to be 2 inches taller, but giving up 2 inches in reach. And I've got him out of Factory X right now, which is actually a really good camp for him. And yeah, I'm on Dumas. I'm a bit nervous. Literally everybody is on Dumas, and everybody's putting like a ton of money on him. I put 2 units, and I'm kind of nervous. Like, he's really good. I do think he should win this fight. He's got the better grappling, in my opinion. He's got the better. I think he has a better striking. I'm not positive though, because he does have his awkward moments on the feet against competition that isn't that great. I definitely give the competition edge to Fremd even before the UFC, because he was fighting decent guys in LFA, whereas Dumas not really. Now, his Contender Series opponent was really good, but he dismantled him. That looked really great. Took him down. That was clean. I just think that here, Dumas is going to, I lean him in the striking, and I'm fairly confident that he's going to be the better grappler. So I think he's going to be live for a finish in either way. I think he can submit Fremd. I mean, just look at the way Fremd got submitted by Tresean Gore. Yeah, MMA math doesn't work or anything like that, but Gore's not a great grappler, and that was not a good look at all. He even got taken down by Gore, and if I'm not forgetting completely, pretty sure Gore had his back. So not a good look. And like, a lot of people are just talking about how good Fremd looked against Fluffy Hernandez on short notice, completely ignoring the Gore fight. Like, he didn't fight since then. It was just the Fluffy fight, and he looked great. He didn't get finished, even though he got dominated and lost. I don't know about that. I wouldn't hang my hat on that and then go bet Josh Fremd. I think Dumas wins. I would just be wary of putting a ton of money on him or parlaying him too much, because making his UFC debut, first of all, probably the best guy he's faced to date. And, Fremd isn't horrible. Fremd can wrestle too. Fremd can strike too. So if Dumas pulls up and he's not on point, he could very well lose this fight, even by decision. But all that said, I do think he finishes. I think his grappling is going to do it. And I played his money line at minus 142. It's getting pretty out of hand for me now. I'm not going to tell you guys to play at minus 180. I'm not going to tell you to play at minus 190, minus 200. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not going to say bet for Fremd either, because I think he loses. But I would just be wary of parlaying Dumas too much or putting too much money on him. I do think that Dumas probably finishes him, but it's a wide line for a guy making his debut against a guy who's been tested against much better competition. And we'll move on. All right. Now we've got Raphael Assuncao versus Davey Grant. Assuncao, 27-9-0, 40 years old, 5'5" with 67-inch reach. And he's actually out of Extreme Couture right now. And Davey Grant, 12-6-0. He's going to be 3 years younger here, 3 inches taller, and have a 2-inch reach advantage, training out of SBG Bishop Auckland. So for this fight, I like Grant. I like Grant quite a bit. Guy's got really good output. I don't like his striking style, the whole like kind of like steps into it, swings, and just like wings his strikes, but it works for him. It does. He goes to the body really well. He mixes up targets. Got really big power. And like I mentioned before, the output is really good. That's one of my favorite things about him. Assuncao, the parlay buster, my sworn enemy. Yep. Shevchenko was that for me last week, but thankfully, I kept it low on her because I wasn't going to sit there and parlay. What was she, minus 700 when I got her? But yeah, back to this. I think that Davey Grant will probably just outstrike Assuncao. I think that Assuncao looked good against Victor Henry, but I think that Victor Henry was off. And if he's going to win this fight, Assuncao, I think he needs to grapple. I think that's live for him. He's got 10 submission wins. Don't think he's done it recently at all, but that could be a path. Grant, he's got good takedown defense, though, 65%. Hasn't really faced too many wrestlers, so I wouldn't put too much into that. I do think Assuncao could get him down if he tries, but on the feet, Assuncao will probably counter really well. He does that really well still, and he's still a good striker, just very meat and potatoes. I just think overall he's going to get outstruck here. I think maybe Grant can knock him out. Grant does have really big power, and Assuncao has been knocked out 3 times. Got knocked out by Cody Garbrandt, who isn't it anymore. Just look at that damn Trevin Jones fight. It was just so sad to see him in that state. So I like Davey Grant. Now the line right now, minus 133. I was pretty surprised that it came down. He was like minus 160 and money was coming in on him. And I was like, all right, like that makes sense. I'm not going to play it because I don't like the price. But now, minus 133, money's still coming in on Assuncao. I'm probably going to get to a bet on Davey Grant. I think he's just going to win this on the feet. I think he's got enough counter grappling to be able to get up if he does get taken down. And I don't think Assuncao is going to finish him. So give me Davey Grant. I wouldn't go crazy with him, but I am probably going to play him just to win 1 unit. Just going to wait on the line, and make sure you're following me on Twitter at Couch Warrior Pod so you can see when I place that bet. All right. We're going to move on to a fight where I botched the line movement. I messed up so hard. Here we've got Lukasz Brzeski versus Karl Williams. Brzeski, he's 8-2-1. 30 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. And for him, he's training out of UFT. Now, Williams, 7-1-0. He's 33 years old, 1 inch shorter, and he's going to have 1 inch reach advantage, training out of American top team Atlanta. So Williams is interesting because he came in against, what was his name? Carl Lawson, something like that, on the Contender Series. I believe Williams was even a short notice replacement and an underdog. And I played him there because I did think he could out-grapple whoever that guy, Lawson. And he did. He looked really good there. Now, I actually played Brzeski for your information. But yeah, he's got really good grappling. But I was running his tape today, like running it over. And on the feet, there's really not too much to love from him. He's decent on the feet, but that's about it. And on the ground, he had Lawson. Yeah, he had Lawson down pretty much the entire fight. And I think he landed like 30 significant strikes. He's not really doing much on the feet. On the ground once he gets it there. So look at the judging we've had. Like, just look at the way they're judging fights now. That's not going to do it often. And is Brzeski going to be off his back throwing up subs and stuff? No. So I don't know how much into play that's going to come, but I just think that Williams isn't doing enough on the ground to really be going after, like, playing him. And I really like the striking of Brzeski. To this day, I'm so salty. I had him against Martin Budai. I think I got him at like plus 250. and I put like 2 units on him. And man, he won that fight. He won that damn fight. And I got robbed. That's going to be my Dominic Reyes moment, my downfall. I'll never forget it. Always going to say what if. But, he showed a few really good things in that fight. First of all, the output. How often do we see heavyweights throwing 113 strikes? I mean, we see it with some of the lower level guys, right? Vandera, Parisian, Parker Porter, but it's not very it's not very often. And his output is really good. His striking, in my opinion, is really good. I really like the striking of Brzeski. I think that on the feet, he's going to have the edge here. Now, is he going to get taken down? Probably. The real question is he going to get held down? I don't think so. I was watching the Michał Kita fight, and in round 1, I think he got like suplexed once and then taken down like twice. And Steve's in a mood today, dropping joke after joke after joke. But yeah, so I do think Brzeski can be taken down, but I don't think he's going to get controlled too long. I think on the feet, he's going to be the better man. And I think he's going to outstrike Williams. So I do have a bet on him, 1 unit, 1.2 units. I played it at minus 115. I messed up on the line movement. Right now, you could probably just sit and wait. And if you agree with my read, you're going to get might get plus 200 by the time everything is said and done. Brzeski is plus 180 right now on BetMGM, plus 175 with some money coming in on Bet Online. But yeah, I mean, I really like that price. I wish I got that. Unfortunately, I did not. Messed up the CLV there. What can you do? So I like Lukasz Brzeski in this fight. I do see the argument for Williams with the wrestling, but he needs to do more on the ground for me. And we're going to move on to, it's going to be a shit show. We got Vitor Petrino versus Anton Turkalj. Petrino, 7-0, 25 years old, 6'2" with a 78-inch reach, training out of CM System. Turkalj, he's 8-1-0. He's going to be 1 year older, 2 inches taller, and have the same reach. And for his camp, I couldn't find anything either. We're going with GBG MMA. And I've got Turkalj here, but I did play him as the dog. And now he's like the favorite, minus 113, minus 110 pick him. I'm seeing it on a bunch of cards. I thought that Petrino was the rightful slight favorite, honestly. So I rewatched Petrino Bellato today, and Petrino's looks actually really good. His striking is really solid. I mean, the power, forget about it. He could wrestle, he can grapple. But the cardio, I mean, you can see he slowed down big time. By the time we got to round 2, he was exhausted. Now, Bellato was already beat up and tired as well, and he got the finish, but he did get really tired. Turkalj, I mean, I don't know what to make of this man. He's such a funny character to me. The pleasure man. You can throw his UFC stats out the window because he just got manhandled by Jonathan Almeida, and that kind of messed it up. But before that, he had that fight on the Contender Series. I actually tried to fade him because I didn't think he looked that good on the regionals. And it's not like he looked amazing on the Contender Series either, right? In that fight. On the feet, he wasn't winning every exchange. He was getting hit quite a bit as well. And on the ground, he dominated. He got like 11 takedowns, something like that. But he didn't cause severe damage or anything like that. But he did show a grappling upside, which I didn't see too much on his tape before that. He did wrestle on the regionals, but not like that. So I played Turkalj. I played him because at range, I think he can also land. He's good at range. He's got nice straight strikes. He's just very hittable. So I'm going to be very, very concerned every time Petrino closes the distance because the guy can hit hard. But if Turkalj can wrestle, if Turkalj can grind on him, if he can slow him down, tire him out, make him defend takedowns, make him get back up, I think the fight's going to start turning and turning and turning his way. So that's why I bet Turkalj. That's why I like him here. But I have concerns. I do. I think that the more I watch Petrino, the more I actually really like him. And I have my concerns that if Turkalj can't get him down, and if Turkalj can't control him, Is he going to be able to not get himself knocked out? I don't know. I'm going to stick with my bet. I was considering hedging out, but I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to play Turkalj. Got him for 1 unit at plus 123, I think, something like that. At this line, can you play him? I mean, I guess you can still get minus 103 on some books. I don't hate it, but yeah, I like Anton Turkalj here. I think he's going to use his grappling. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Classic buy low spot on the pleasure man. Yeah, I guess it's also a tough matchup. It's not an easy one. Turkalj is Levitt is oh my goodness. Week number 6, and Mike still doesn't have a headboard. I thought it was week 7 already, but hey, at this rate, no promises, Prince of Mischief. And okay, no, we'll move on to the next fight. This is a good one. We've got Said Nurmagomedov versus Jonathan Martinez. Said is 17-2-0, 30 years old, 5'8" with a 70-inch reach, training out of. I don't have anything right now. Dag Fighter is what's down there. I don't think that's correct, but Martinez 17-4-0, 28 years old. He's 2 years younger, same height, same reach, and he's training out of Factory X. So my initial lean was Martinez pre-tape because Martinez is a really good striker. Martinez has great leg kicks, which I think is going to be useful here. And Martinez has shown to be a very, very good counter grappler, great takedown defense. You look back at his Zviad Dvalishvili fight. I mean, yeah, Dvalishvili was on short notice, but he's a really good wrestler. And I think Martinez shut out every single takedown attempt in that fight and looked great doing it. Now he's been taken down by guys like Cub Swanson, so it's not perfect, but he's got really good takedown defense. Said, he's kind of what I hate about fighters. I don't like counter strikers. I don't like low volume guys. And what I hate the most are the guys who throw flashy kicks and spinning stuff. I hate that. What I do like for it, I mean, I haven't even looked, but I used to always play Said Nurmagomedov significant strikes under on prize picks. If it's anything under like 40, 50, always play it because he just does not throw much. So why am I betting him here? Because I do think that he's gonna be throwing enough. I think that he's a really good counter striker. I think they're gonna match up very similar on the feet. I really hope he's not throwing too much spinning things. I mean, it's his style. It's always gonna happen, but I hope he's not doing it too much. I think that the output is definitely gonna go to Martinez, but Said has that grappling in his back pocket. It's not his first choice. It's not what he always goes to, but he can do it if he wants to. And I like betting on guys who have more than one way to win. And he has it here. 4 knockout wins, 5 submission wins. He has shown that grappling. So I played him at minus 190. I did it for 2 units. I'm iffy on the price, honestly, but I just think he's a better man here. I really do. Like, is getting out grappled by Sedriques a big deal? Not in my opinion. I think Sedriques is a great fighter, and I can't believe he got cut. And he still won that fight, right? And he's shown a lot of good things recently. He's been still improving, in my opinion. Both guys have, though. Both guys have for sure. Martinez also improving every single fight. I definitely see the people who like Martinez. I see the angle. But I think that the slicker, more technical striker is going to be Nurmagomedov. And like I said, the person who I think can use grappling to win the fight is going to be Said. So he's going to be my pick. Just, again, not one that I would go crazy throwing into parlays. What is he now? Oh, Lord. Now he's minus 250. Now I really hate it. I don't love minus 250 on Said. Plus 207 seems like a good line on Jonathan if you like the dog. Like I said, Jonathan has his plus sides here. He's going to have the output. He's also a really good striker, and he's got great takedown defense. Excuse me. But my pick is Said. That's my bet. We're going to move on. Mike Tone. What is wrong with you? I am Ukrainian. I do not hate Russian fighters. I don't blame them at all for anything. I do hate plus money. If you say so. Smash the like button. Now, this message I can endorse. Please do smash the like button. Thank you, Mushroom. And make sure you're subscribed to Mushroom. I mean, literally one of the funniest guys in this space, and he's sharp. So, and has the best lunches and breakfast. So make sure you're following him. These guys are ranked 15 and unranked. 135 is so stacked. Yeah, I mean, 135 and 155 are super stacked. In my opinion, I like 135 a little bit more, I think. But yeah, such a stacked division. But we can move on to our next fight. All right. Man, this is I was very surprised I made this fight. So for this one, we've got Ricardo Ramos versus Austin Lingo. Ramos is 16, 4-0, 27 years old, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach, training out of Team Alpha Male. Lingo on the other side, he's 9, 1-0, 1 year older, 1 inch taller, giving up 2 inches in reach, training out of Fortis MMA. I mean, what is there to like about Lingo? He's a decent striker, I guess. His output is good. He's got good power. That's about it. I don't really love much about Lingo. Like, all right. Something I do want to address is his takedown defense numbers. It's 80% on UFC stats. When he fought Jacob Kilburn attempted, I think it was like 20 takedowns or something like that. And Lingo defended 18 of them. So, and then he defended 5 takedowns against Saldana. So he had good takedown defense in those fights. But I think this number is very, very off and just doesn't reflect his takedown defense. I do think he's going to get taken down if Ramos wants to here. And yeah, I mean, I think Ramos wins this fight everywhere. The competition's not even close. Like, Ramos has fought the much better guys. He's beat the much better guys. He's lost to the much better guys. And I think he has the edge here everywhere. He's going to be a better striker, in my opinion. Maybe the output I would give to Lingo, and maybe the pure power I would give to Lingo. But in terms of just technique, in terms of what's going to happen on the feet, I like Ramos. And the fact that I think Ramos can grapple here and will have success if he chooses to do so. Got to like that too. He's got 7 submission wins. I was kind of thinking about maybe that being an angle here. Let me see what Ramos by sub is. I'm not on any props yet, just one total. Plus 230, plus 270, Ramos by sub. I think it's a likely way he wins this fight, but not enough meat on the bone for me because I think a decision is very possible as well. I played Ricardo Ramos, but I played him really early. I played him when he was minus 235, and it opened even closer, believe it or not. I played it at minus 235. I put 5 units on it. I mean, I feel really comfortable. I really only think he loses this if he gets knocked out, and I don't think he's going to get knocked out. So Ramos is my pick, and I'm not going to sit here and beat a dead horse. If you want to parlay him at minus 350, I mean, I think there's stupider things you could do on this card, so I don't hate it. Like right now, the 3 parlay pieces I would consider are Aldrich, Ramos, and the Silva Nam over 1.5 at minus 180. I think those 3 are decent parlay legs, but yeah, not much else to say there. And we can move on to a fight that got just kind of like stuck into this card out of nowhere. We got Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Spann. They were supposed to fight, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Krylov, 29, 9-0, 30 years old, 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. On the other side, Spann, he's 21, 7-0, 1 inch taller. He's got a 1 inch older. He's got a 2-inch height advantage. He's going to have a, what is this? Believe it's a 4-inch reach advantage, training out of Fortis MMA. And I mean, look, my original pick the first time they were supposed to fight was Nikita Krylov. My pick remains the same. I had a bet on him the last time. Right now, I'm kind of staying off. I think he's the better fighter pretty much everywhere. I think he's got the better grappling with very little doubt. I said this the week they were supposed to fight. I know a lot of people love Ryan Spann by submission. My dear friend Steve over here, I know he had Ryan Spann by sub, but I personally didn't see a sub happening in that fight. Not from Spann anyways. And my bigger concern was Spann knocking Krylov out because I think Krylov can be a little bit liable on the feet. And Spann hits like a train. The guy hits really hard. He's really big. But I still think that Krylov overall is a better striker. If he avoids those big shots, he should be able to win this fight on the feet. And I think he's going to have the much better offensive wrestling. I think he's going to dictate where this fight is going to play out. And because of that, I still like Krylov. Am I going to play him? I haven't decided yet. Right now, the line is a lot lower than it was last time. He's minus 166. I'm definitely considering that. I think that line is pretty decent. And if I played him at like minus 185 or something like that, I probably should play him at minus 166. Yeah, Steve kind of saying what I was mentioning. Krylov he can be really hittable on the feet. That's my bigger concern. I can understand the club and sub. I could. But I don't know. I think if anything, he gets a knockout if he finishes Krylov. Let's span decision, no action. That's a way to do it. Because Span can get finished too, but I don't think Span's going to win a decision. I'm not seeing. Oh, there it is. All right. Span scorecards equals no action is minus 120 on Bet Online. I kind of like that. If you're going to play Span, I'm not going to. I still think Krylov wins, and that's my pick, and I might play him. But if you take Span, I would consider decision no action. And now I'm kind of curious what finish no action is on Krylov, because that might be another good way to look at it. Because if that's not too steep, I don't think Span wins the decision, and I do think Krylov can get finished. So that might be a way to look at it for me personally. But we can move on to our co-main event, and this is one that people have been fighting about, and I'll tell you, I went back and reconsidered my opinion, but the tape just reinforced it for me. So we've got Alexander Volkov versus Alexander without an E, Romanov. Volkov, 35, 10, and 0. He's 34 years old, 6'7" with an 80-inch reach. And on the other side, you got Romanov, 16, 1, and 0, 32 years old. He's 2 years younger, 5 inches shorter, and he's given up 5 inches in reach. I did fade Romanov against Tybura. I was waiting for that moment since the day Romanov made his debut. Romanov, in my opinion, is a classic hype job. If you watch his regional tape and you watch who he was fighting and the way he was fighting them, you would understand where I'm coming from. He was fighting dudes who are almost always older than 40, almost always just fat, and he was just manhandling them, and he wasn't doing anything technical. He didn't throw anything on the feet. On the ground, he did this freaking King Kong thing that he does, which is hilarious to watch, but not if you have money on him. And people are just so like, I mean, I'm shocked by some of the takes this week. I'm like absolutely shocked. People are sitting here and pretending that Romanov is going to be as good of a wrestler as Aspinall or Curtis Blades. And let's talk about this. Is Romanov going to be landing doubles in the way that Aspinall and Blades do? No, that's not how he wrestles. He uses his muscles. He uses his body, his upper body strength to take people down. He's not going to be going and taking single legs and shit like that. He's not going to. And people aren't understanding that Curtis Blades over 5 rounds couldn't finish this guy on the ground because he kept getting up, because he kept fighting to get back up. He's going to keep fighting. He's not going to give up. And we've seen Romanov just tank the cardio, tanks. And I'm like, I mentioned this right before I started this fight. Everybody's takes made me go back, and I was like, all right, maybe Romanov at this price is a buy low spot. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. And I run the tape, and I mean, his striking is abysmal. The dude can't strike. He's just not a good striker. He has no output, no real technique on the feet. He's just not very good. So, like, what? Like, how is he going to set up his takedowns? He's going to rush right in there and probably get a few. But they're going to become harder and harder to get. Volkov is 6'7". The guy's going to tripod up, and it's going to be hard to keep bringing him down. Look, maybe I'm going to look like a big old idiot after this, but the takes people are saying is just blowing my freaking mind. People are comparing Romanov to Aspinall. People are saying he's just going to smash him. It's just like, yeah, Steve, I honestly, I need to compose myself. The more I talk about it, the angrier I get. To anybody sitting here and thinking that Romanov is going to come out here and look like Aspinall, get help. Get help. As Brady says, get help. But, all right, more serious. Volkov is a much better striker. The competition isn't even close. The guy's got, I think, like 24, 25 finishes. Let me double check. 23 knockout wins. Fighting much, much better competition. Guy's got, I believe, like, let me double check my notes again. 71% takedown defense, having fought guys like Curtis Blades, having fought guys like Tom Aspinall. I don't know, guys. Look, can Romanov take him down and maybe submit him quick? Nothing's impossible, and that's probably how he wins. But look, if you live bet, I think live betting Volkov is a move here. I think Volkov, honestly, Volkov by KO isn't even worth it. I was looking at it today. He's plus 135 right now, and his knockout prop is, oh, okay. It was plus 190 on Bet Online, which sucks, but plus 340 on Bet Rivers, that I might get to. And what's his round 3 props? So the round 3 props suck on Bet Online. I'm going to see what they are on other books like FanDuel and Bet Rivers. I think that's definitely like something you have to play, right? Because by round 3, we saw Romanov is not himself. And even in round 2, he's not himself. So I think that a knockout for Volkov at plus 340, it's a pretty good price. I might get there. And I haven't played him yet because, like I said, I mean, for a few days, I was thinking maybe I'm going to go with Romanov. Maybe I was missing something. But now I think other people are missing something. So I am going to play Volkov. I'm just going to wait on the line. Right now, he's plus 135. I think people are going to continue to parlay Romanov as the week goes on. Because for some reason, there's this echo chamber of Romanov smash. Man, when I see Romanov smash, I want to smash something through a wall. All right? Like, okay. We're going to move on from this fight before I get any more angry. And we're going to move on to our last fight. So, talk about getting angry. Petr Yan is my favorite fighter, and he's been so freaking disappointing. But all right, we got Petr Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili. Yan is 16, 4-0. He's 30 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach, training out of Tiger Muay Thai as far as I remember. Merab, 15, 4-0. He's 2 years older at 32. He's 1 inch shorter, going to have a 1 inch reach advantage, and he's training out of Serra-Longo. So look, I mean, I almost said it's a binary fight, but it's not because Yan can grapple too. But in terms of the striking, right, you can't really compare it at all. Like, it's just not comparable. Merab is not a good striker. Petr Yan is an amazing striker. He's an amazing boxer. My issue with him is his output could be very low sometimes, and he can start very slow, and it has costed him fight after fight after fight. And if he starts slow here, he's going to lose this damn fight again. It's what's going to happen if he starts slow. Now, Merab, pace machine, cardio machine, grappling machine. His striking is not good. His striking defense isn't very good. He literally got rocked, absolutely rocked by Marlon Vera. And people are kind of just ignoring that. I got the right guy, right? It was Marlon Vera. No, that's Cheeto. Fuck. What was his fucking name? He's out of the UFC for 1 second. And I forget his name. Over in the PFL. Instead of telling me I'm an amateur, just tell me, Steve. God. What is his damn name? Marlon Moraes. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day. But Marlon Moraes literally almost knocked him out and then got himself finished. And people are just pretending it never happened. And it did happen. It did. And it wasn't that long ago. Merab against Aldo. He won the fight. He did what he had to win the fight. But he didn't do much. He just kind of held him there against the fence for the majority of the fight. Petr Yan, I don't think he's going to get stuck against the fence. Petr Yan, and if he is, he's dirty in the clinch. He's dirty in the clinch. He's got really nice clinch knees, really nice work with his elbows. I think he's going to hurt Merab if they're in the clinch. I do think Merab might land some takedowns. I just don't think he's really going to hold him down. He doesn't have the build of Aljamain Sterling to backpack Petr Yan like he did. And that's what Aljo had to do. I don't see Merab being able to do that. It's hard for me to see a Merab win, but I totally understand how it happens because I've already said it. If Petr Yan comes out here, fights slow, and allows himself to just get outpaced, he's going to lose the fight. If he comes out here, understanding this is a 3-rounder, not a 5-rounder, throws, uses his counter grappling, his trips, he should win this fight. I don't love the line anymore. The line got absolutely destroyed. Let me double check what it is now. Minus 275, minus 280, minus 260. No, I mean, I don't think you can really bet that at all. I would be very nervous putting that kind of chalk on Petr Yan because, like I said, he hasn't been reliable, unfortunately. Yeah, you can say he got robbed in some of those fights. Believe me, as a huge Petr Yan fan, I want to sit here and say he got robbed. But there's definitely you can definitely see how he did, how it was not a robbery there. And I could see it happening here again if he's not fighting like he has to. I played him at minus 180 for 2 units. If we get closer back to that line, I think that's playable. I do, because I think he should win the fight. But at minus 265, minus 275, I think we're getting pretty crazy. That's not to say I think you should bet Merab. I think Merab loses, but first of all, I can't blame anybody taking the dog shot on him at plus 220. And second of all, I don't remember. So, yeah, I like Petr Yan here. I think he's a much better striker. He's got great grappling himself. He can do doubles. He can do trips. And his counter grappling, his takedown defense is phenomenal. 90%, even after 2 almost 25-minute fights with Aldrich. So, yeah, give me Petr Yan. I'd be wary with this price tag, though. And that's a card. That's 13 fights. I don't know if they're keeping, what's-his-face, Carlson Harris. I really wish that he was fighting because there were some crazy bad takes on that fight, too. I mean, almost as bad as the Romanov takes. But I won't say them. I won't comment anybody. And thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with me through the tech issues. I don't know what is going on over here. I gotta figure it out. But thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. Good luck with any bets you make. In terms of my content for the rest of the week, there's a lot of regionals this week and not enough time for me. I have a midterm exam this week, so I can't do too much. I really want to put out a Bellator video. I'm going to do my best to do so, but it's going to be difficult. And if it happens, it's going to probably be on Thursday. But it's a great card, and I really want to break it down, and I definitely want to do a video. I will be doing PFL with my buddy Steve over here on Thursday. Time to be announced. I don't remember what we decided, if we even did. And then on Friday, I've got Prop Talk with MMA Propaholic, my co-host. Believe we're doing 7 p.m. Make sure you're following me at Couch Warrior Pod. That's where I post all this stuff. I'll let you guys know the exact times and stuff, but that's what I've got going on this week. Thank you guys all for tuning in again. Mushroom MMA Thursday nights at 10 p.m. You heard the man. Subscribe to him. Follow him. Dude is really dope. Hilarious guy. And all right, thank you guys, and have a good night.